Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and I would just like to say welcome to all the new people that have subscribed to my channel during this hashtag ABC April 2025 challenge. It's so nice to see some new faces on the channel, as well as some of the people that have been with me for a year and a half now. Kind of crazy. Or has it been 2 years? I forget. It's been a while. Welcome to each and every one of you. New friends, old friends. Love to see everyone who stops by. All right, so today's video is going to be the letter S from the hashtag ABC April 2025 challenge. Info's in the description. We have been through this a few times. So, but if you haven't seen it, they're being hosted by Seven Plaza and Crafty by Tony. Now, they have a list of prompts that you can use or go on your own. And as usual, Lisa's gone rogue again. But there are thoughts and ideas, and there's some great stuff here. Stamping, scraps, specimen cards, sewing, signature. But mine is going to be special papers. And we all know we have special papers that we never use. We just love them and touch them and caress them. And I'm talking, you know, my Tim Holtz. You might have saw I got the vault. I got all of his papers, the 8x8s, the 12x12s. I've opened the 12x12 because I showed it out in the haul. I still haven't even opened my 8x8s. And this is upside down. Still haven't even opened these. So they're quite special to me. But I was thinking, what happens when we're gone? I don't want to get all maudlin, but will your family, will your husband, will your kids think these are special, or will they end up being donated? So I say, you know, give yourself permission to start playing with your special papers, because they're supposed to bring you joy. And maybe just looking at them and petting them and touching them brings you enough joy. But I think that there's a better chance that our completed projects might be saved by our husbands or our kids just a little bit longer than maybe a pad of paper will. So with that said, I have a quick little project. Well, I think it's going to be quick, to use up some of my special paper. Now, when I say some, it might be one piece, maybe two at the most here. But you know, baby steps, little steps. But if it comes out as good as I think it is, I think I might make a few more. So I'm going to be picking papers from memoranda, and I'll tell you why in a second. I'm going to get this out of the way. All right, I'm going to be making a little flip book, folio book out of these papers. And I'm going to be cutting them down to 6x6. Now, I was originally thinking of doing this project with the 8x8s, cutting down a little bit from it and using them as, you know, extras. But then I thought, well, you know, if I can find some papers that when you cut 6x6, each quadrant looks so unique and so different that you hardly will know that it came from one 12x12 piece of paper. And looking through my pads of paper, the memoranda really fit that well. These are fairly similar, but if you think about these in 6x6s, they're going to look completely different. Same with this one, that page, that page, that page, that page, all going to look a little bit different, sort of similar. This one, all going to look different. That's going to be a page, that would be a page, that would be a page, that would be a page. Same with that. And this is going to be part of the spine. It looks Tim Holtzy. It was not. I believe this is from my scrapbook collection. I think it was a collection from Basic Gray. I think that was the name of them. And they used to have a lot of grungy kind of papers. It's thicker, not probably almost as thick as the Tim Holtz, but I'm going to be using this for the spine, and I thought it really went well with this. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Now this is, like I said, going to be like a folio or a flip book, kind of a journal, but it's going to be no-sew, really easy. What it will involve, though, is the use of some brads, and I've pulled some through. I've got these fun square brads, and I picked three of each selection to figure out when I finish the flip, I'll figure it out. I've got this brownish, bronzish, kind of beveled, and then I got simple dark chocolate brown circle ones and beige ones, but I thought one of those will work perfectly for it. So I'm thinking if I do one of these, there's 4 pages, so I'm thinking maybe 2, the 8 pages. I'll put them together and see if it's enough. And if I have to, I will sacrifice the third page and have that. So I'm going to pick the two that I want the most, and I think it's these two. So I'm going to put these to the side, and I'm going to cut these down to 6 by 6s. And here we go. Now I have used a few pages already. I used them in my teal journal, so it's not absolutely the first time I've used them, but you know, sparingly is definitely one of those words that has come to the vocabulary for these papers. Oops. Oh, silly. There we go. Cut this down to 6. But yeah, I was having one of those moments where, you know, if I don't use it, who's going to use it? All right, I'm going to take my other cutter. Let me chop a few more. This one does go to 6. Now I have, I might just do one because I'm not seeming to line this up as well as I wanted to. I have some thoughts on decorating these. They're not going to be over decorated because I don't want to cover up the pages a lot, I have a feeling. So I do have a thought on some ideas. And we'll see how long today's video goes, if we're going to do that today or maybe on another day. Okay, let's see what we got here. I think I could go with one more. I think I could go with one more. All right, we're gonna sacrifice the third one. Now, of course, if you just wanted to make a quick little, when you see in the end how this works, if you just want to make a quick little thing, you can definitely use much fewer papers. Oh no, that one got too small. What did I do? What did I do? You're at 6. How did this one not become 6? Oh, it's crooked. That's why. It's not straight. Okay. Well, that's not good. All right, well, I guess a page is going to be a little shorter. Trying to straighten that out a little bit, but that's okay. I think it'll be okay. It'll be okay. I was so careful with the first two to line up the bottom, but sadly I was kind of rushing to get this last one in there. Okay. It'll work out in the end. Okay, so we're going to figure out which way the orientation needs to go. And this is kind of all over the place. I think I'm going to go that way. And just trying to mix them up a little bit. I want it that way because I like that flower. And okay, All right, so which one do I want for the, I think I want that for the top. Okay. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to poke holes in these. But I do have to cut one more piece. Okay, so I'm gonna need a piece to cover up the spine, and I'm gonna need part of this. So I think I'm gonna cut this, and I want it to go, oh, I forgot, I gotta do one more thing. Jumping ahead of myself. I'm gonna do a 1/2 inch score on that. So I'm gonna need maybe like 1.5 inches. No, an inch. I'm going to do an inch. I'm going to do 1.25 inches. It's 1/4 inch. We'll take care of. Yeah, how thick that is. So we're going to cut this at 1.25 inches. All right, I got spare if that's not the right size. And down to 6. Okay, probably use that piece, but we'll see. All right, so scoring. Okay, I'm gonna score each of these 1/2 inch to be folded over. So I'm gonna make sure that there's a nice deep score there. Okay, I'm gonna make sure it gets flipped over. So I'm scoring the correct side. All right, here comes fast. All right, so they are all scored and folded. Front page and decided what the back page was, and I've got all the folds on the one side here. So now I'm going to finally clip them together so I can put the holes on there. Okay, first I am going to score this, and this is going to be the spine for this. So we're going to score, this was, what did I say, 1.25 inches. So we are going to score at the 1/2 inch mark from this side, and then the 1/2 inch mark from this side. So that should leave the 1/4 inch spine in the middle. Now, as usual, I haven't made one of these because, you know, that's what I do. I just kind of go on a roll and have you come along with me. So just working this off in my head. But, I mean, that's how you craft, right? You just got to work stuff off in your head and then go from there. All right, so this is going to go as a spine on there. Well, that's not too bad. I wanted to leave a little bit of room so when these open, they don't get caught on this spine. So it leaves a little bit of room in there. I won't make the brad as tight, so this gives this a bit of space to grow. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 3 holes in here. I'm hoping I can put the holes. I might have to put these in 2 pieces. We'll have to see. And I'm thinking, no matter which one I do, oops, this hole should be fine. The little one, not the big one. I don't want it too big. Okay, so let's be professional about this, shall we? And let's mark it off. All right, so halfway is right there. So the hole needs to go right there. And I don't want to go an inch. I think that's too far up. So maybe 3/4. Let's do 3/4, which will be right there. And 3/4 would be right there. Okay. And I really probably should do this in 2 steps, but we're going to see. All right, first hole. Oh, it went through actually pretty easily. All right, and second hole, or bottom hole. And top hole. All right, so these holes, oh, that is not the folded one. There we go. I'm going to take one piece of paper off and just draw the holes on here. Yeah, that'll be the front. Okay, I'm just drawing the holes on the front piece because I'm going to have the brads go through that, but when it comes around the back, this is going to cover the back of the brads up as a, so the brads don't show through. Oops, that's the big one. Nope, that is a small one. All right, so we're going to all right, so I go back and do that. Oops, forgot the top. All right, so like I said, this is going to go on the top of here. I think I'm going to put a little glue on here so it doesn't come off. So let's go with that. And we're just going to we're not going to glue the spine down. That'll be free flowing. But this way, oops. All right, so helpful hint, make sure you have a top and a bottom because they seem to have been wrong. So I think we're going to be okay because I'll just use my pokey tool. I knew where my pokey tool was. I wasn't planning on using it. There we are. It's just slightly off, but I think if I use the big enough brad, it will be fine. It's the center one that somehow got a little bit more off. Okay, because if I put these on there, they're big. I think they'll cover them. All right, so I've got the option of this big round one, which I think is nice. I think the square one is actually too big now that I'm looking at it. Yeah, it sticks over the edge. And these will work. But I think that looks a little better. And I also have, I wish this was alive so you guys can vote. I'm actually leaning toward that one now because it's more of a parts that goes with it. Now, okay, I'm leaning away from that one, which I really originally, when I was pulling them, was my first choice. You know, I kind of like that. Mix and match. Okay, let's do that. All right, so we're going to make sure that the brad is opened, but I think I'm going to try to leave some space here. So let's get the ruler, which has a bit of room. Whoops. I need to turn you. Okay. So now I'm going to take, and I'm just going to soften that center spine because it's definitely a little bigger than I would hope, so I can glue this part down. And like I said, this is going to leave just a hint of room to be able to have that expand when this is gone. So, all right, we're going to put the glue on just the flap, not the spine. And I'm going to throw a little extra glue around the brads. Okay, and we're gonna put the glue down and we're just gonna do our best to pull it just ever so slightly. I can vaguely see the where the page turns. This might help. Okay. All right, now we're going to push it down. Okay, I think I got it. I think in hindsight, I probably wouldn't have made that a quarter inch. Probably would have made it more like an 1/8, but having that room to breathe, not the worst thing in the world. So let us cover the glue, and yeah, see how that's nice in the back, it's covered. I like that. And then that's right there. So, and I was thinking, and I probably should have done this beforehand, I was thinking about rounding these corners. Well, that's kind of fun how that ended up getting turned, but it's the same back of the paper. I really didn't look at the backs when I was putting them on. I was really just looking to see what the front would look like. 2 yellows. Interesting. Okay. I love it. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to round the corners of these. Yeah, I like it. All right. I think this will handle like... Okay, now this is that short one, but I think I still round it like it's part of the whole book and not the part of the book. That'll be fine. That was a few too many pages. As I was saying, this page that's short is barely rounded because it's part of the whole page. Instead of, as if I went in there and rounded this part, it would be, I don't know, I think it might be unnecessary. Okay, I'll pick up the confetti. Oops, missed a page. There we go. Yeah, I like it. I like it rounded much better. A nice Tim Holtz flip through. And like I said about decorating, it's not going to need a lot of decorating. Maybe some tiny pockets. Tiny belly band. That might be what I do my tea for. Tiny embellishments. Tiny ephemera. I like it. I think that's what I'm going to do. Tiny envelopes. Tiny tucks. Tiny library pockets. Confetti stuck in there. Oh, I love it. Yeah, this is very cool. These circles are all over the place. Okay, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. And as I was doing the folds, I thought I forgot to mention to it, this could easily, does not have to be just special paper to make these. It could easily be a regular 6x6 pad of paper that you have. Don't have to worry about cutting it or anything. You just have to worry about doing the folds and doing that. Like I said, probably the 1/2 inch, so 1 inch and 1/8 would probably be a perfect amount to do for this amount of paper. But I'm not mad that there's a little extra room in there in the spine, kind of making it a little round. I do not mind it at all. Okay, well, I think that's going to be it for this because I'm going to have to figure out some teeny tiny ephemera to put in here. But this could definitely be a belly band or a teeny tiny side tuck rounded off. Don't want to block too much, but yeah, I love it. Okay, well, special papers. Pull out your special papers and play with them. That's all I have to say about that. They're definitely worth it. I love this project. I love it more than I thought I would, actually. And I knew I would love it. But I absolutely love this thing. Okay, well, that is going to be it for me today. I hope you liked the video, too. If you did, a thumbs up would be truly appreciated. And as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.